Well, hello there, and this is Auntie, and I am here to do my review of Love After Lockup, Season 3, Episode 25, Downward Spiral. Why didn't y'all tell me that I never did this review? Like, I'm going on through life. Here it is Tuesday, and I just realized I never did this review. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for joining the family. To all of my nieces and nephews who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you all so much for your continued support. If I had to rate this episode of Love After Lockup, I would rate this episode a D. Anytime I'm fast forwarding and I'm like, come on with it, it's a D. It's the D for me. Okay. So let's get into this episode. The first couple that I want to talk about is Marcelino and Brittany. Fast forward, like I fast forwarded through the laundromat scene with Marcelino and his mother because his mother doesn't have a problem. So I figured the only thing that he could be talking about is either Brittany or Brittany's mother, and I did not want to hear Marcelino's opinion about either one of them. I saw that I did allow myself to see a little bit of it, and I saw that they went out looking for Brittany's mother, and that they went to a hotel room and he offered some woman $20 to get her nails done in order to go into the room and do a wellness check. Well, going into the room is not a wellness check. A wellness check is not a wellness check unless you have law enforcement there. But, I guess that was supposed to be, you know, anyway, I basically fast forwarded through them. I think that their storyline is really conjured up and is boring. How many times can you hear Brittany say, if she loved me, she would change? It just doesn't happen that way. Okay? It just doesn't happen that way. The next person that I want to talk about is Lindsay and Scott. Again, fast forward. This girl, perpetrates this fraud and goes out and throws things that are not valuable to Scott out on the lawn, trying to act as if, she was the big woman in charge. She, threw his stuff out in the rain, his laptop, some laundry out of a laundry bin because she found out that Scott is a fraud. And Scott has told her that Terabelle cannot come and live with them. That's Scott joint. Whether it's rented, whether it's rented or not, that is Scott's place. And so, her mom is sitting there, and I'm sure that the mother is used to seeing her this way. The mother indicated that she's never seen Lindsay this mad. Mom, you were sitting there afraid. Mom offered her a spot at her house on an air bed, and Destiny didn't want it. She feels like, this is her house and she has a right to it. She's paying the rent on it and everything else. Her name is on the lease or the mortgage, and, this is her place, and this isn't her place. And, Scott refused to have a conversation with her over the phone. But of course, Scott is on his way home. And so, we're going through the motions with this girl supposed to be really upset. The last episode where we saw Lindsay, she was walking around with that book all day. And so, the mother is like, it doesn't seem like you care about anybody. You only deal with people, as a means of convenience or to get whatever it is that you can get out of them. This is, the mother's take on it. And the mother said that the only person that I've ever seen you care about, Destiny, is your daughter. And, the mother's feelings was really hurt by this because she has been there. She loves Lindsay and her daughter. And Lindsay had the nerve to call Scott a big lip bitch, right? And it would have been funny had it been said on different terms. But I mean, you just don't come up in somebody's place, and think that you're going to take over it, because you're just not going to do it, like, right? And so nothing that she did was funny to me, was comical, was moving. I felt like she was doing a whole lot of this for the cameras. Her energy wasn't even at, it was erratic, and so it didn't even match where she was supposed to be in her anger. Y'all let me know down in the comment if you believed it. I didn't buy any of it. I thought that it all was just an act for the cameras and to have herself, be relevant on the show. The next couple that I want to talk about is Chevelle and Quaylon. Okay, so Quaylon basically is trying to, get back to Kansas City, right? He's in Houston with his family. And so Quaylon calls his sister on the phone to discuss Chevelle. And he was telling the sister that, he had put in his work and his time. He's a man who made a mistake, an honest mistake. Like, okay, if that's what you want to tell yourself, Quaylon, and you think that this is what's going to get you over the hump, boo, you go ahead on and tell yourself that. But this just not going to do it for me. But anyway, he indicates that, he wants to fight for his relationship, and he doesn't understand why, if she says that she loves him, why she won't just listen to him. She hasn't, in his opinion, she hasn't given him the opportunity to say what he needs to say. Bitch, you've had several opportunities to say what you had to say, even a upfront meeting with her at the apartment and at the Airbnb. So, Quaylon, you've already had your opportunity to say what it is that you have to say. Okay, we already know that you was messing with some chick on Instagram or Facebook, some kind of social media platform, when you was living there with the little girl. Chevelle takes the little girl with her out to a park, and they're riding on a park bench. And I'm like, okay, I guess there must be a sign somewhere that says it's okay for you to, tear this property up like this. But anyway, I digress. They're sitting there with magic markers and everything, and the little girl asks her, about Quaylon. Now, the confusing thing about this relationship is that, first he's the daddy and then he's not. She has allowed, which she's permitted to do, she's allowed her daughter to call him daddy. And so this little girl seriously doesn't know any other man, I'm assuming, but Quaylon as her daddy, because, he's been her daddy in jail. He's been her daddy, at home. He's just been like her daddy. And so, of course, we know in the last conversation, she had a conversation with Quaylon on the phone and she stepped into another room. But of course, everything that got their eyes shut ain't sleep. And so the little girl probably heard the majority of her conversation. She asked the little girl, her daughter, whether or not, she liked her being with her by herself or her with daddy. And the little girl said, daddy. She said, when he comes back, can we bring him here so he can see how we, just up these people's property like this. And so, she's like, well, I just want you to know that whether or not we're together or not, that we both still love you. And I thought that was that's a hard place you put yourself in, sis. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have to, if you had never started it, you wouldn't have ever had to finish. You can't put your eggs in that one mofo basket, because you didn't know whether or not this mofo was going to keep his word. And so now here you are stuck with the bag and stuck with a daughter who believes that her father, it has basically abandoned her. So now you're going to have a little girl who's got to deal with abandonment issues if this relationship between the two of you all doesn't come back together. So now she's going to Branson, and she alleged that this was a trip that was supposed to be a family trip, but because her and Quaylon not together, she taking D-Mark with her, which is her cousin, and she tells him that, she went on a date with Jay, and, she just really used Jay for the cameraman, and she wanted to feel like a woman again. Now, I understand that there are some women who will date men to try to, up themselves or to get over somebody else. Remember, her mother had made a statement that the best way to get over a man is to get on top of a man, which is stupid as dog, dude. But anyway, the mother, said that in a conversation. And so I guess that, she thought that, getting on top of Jay would be the way for her to, Girl, bye. This girl is just messed up in her head, and just for the sake of the baby, I'm hoping that the relationship between her and Quaylon works out because, like, truly, you have devastated your daughter. You have taken her to a place where she didn't really need to go. And again, as I said, she's going to be dealing with abandonment issues. And that is the last thing that you want your daughter to deal with because if it's not solved, if they're not healed from that at an early age, then they're going to grow up and all that they're going to do is get in relationships and be abandoned. Okay. It's the pathology of it all. As we all notice, we haven't seen her daddy. So I don't know whether or not, she's ever known her father or not. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments section if you know anything about that. But it's just unfortunate that she's taking this girl through this. So we see Quaylon at the airport on his way, I guess, to Branson, so that he can run up on her and explain and like tell her what he did. Like he's going to have the same conversation, or is there going to be a resolve? Because frankly, I've gotten extremely bored too with this storyline. Let me know in the comment section whether or not you bored with it. I mean, it's just boring as hell. I mean, like, I think that after 5 episodes, right, they need to cut it and then come back. Give us another 5, and then you know what I'm saying. Like tease us a little bit more, because these episodes after episodes after episodes after episodes, after a while, you just be like, I just ain't ready to buy into this storyline anymore. Switch it up, change it up, make your life as exciting as our lives are. Okay. So anyway, the next couple that I want to talk about is Michael and Sarah. Of course, Malcolm, the fake ass boyfriend, has left. And so, Sarah is there now having a conversation with Michael about Malcolm. But I thought that Michael didn't give a damn about Malcolm, especially since Michael is levitating people, right? So why the hell would Michael even ask her where's Malcolm if Michael doesn't give a damn about Malcolm, and Malcolm doesn't give a damn about Michael? So anyway, Sarah says, who, my boyfriend? Bitch, everybody knows that this is not your boyfriend. The gig is up, all right? So anyway, he begins to tell her about this relationship that he has with Maria. He is alleging at this time that he and Maria are done, and that he doesn't feel safe with Maria because Maria starts stuff with him, and he doesn't know how to handle an aggressive woman. See, he's the one that's used to being the one acting an ass and acting out. And so, of course, this young lady is, taking it 10 notches up. And so he can't handle it because she is pulling over on the side of the road and, causing problems with him. And, and the police, according to him, have been involved in a couple of these. And so, he doesn't want to go back to jail, allegedly, for having an argument with the woman. He would rather go back to jail, allegedly, for stealing, vehicles and for leaving little kids by the seashore. Okay. And so anyway, Sarah feels sorry for him. She says that, for the sake of her children, she's going to help him out whenever she feels good and goddamn ready to help him out. And this is a situation where, her and Michael are finally able to talk without arguing. So Michael believes that because they have not argued, they have created this deeper bond with one another. And we know that that's some bull crap, right? Because Michael is not going to change who he is. He is going to manipulate the situation. I hear from multiple women who have reached out to me about Michael that he is very, he's very different in person, that he, knows how to charm the socks off of people. They must be dollar store socks, bitch. If you gonna charm them off of my feet, they got to be dollar store socks, because it ain't a damn thing that him or a mofo that has his status could say to me to charm me into believing or receiving, being deceived. Okay. Thank you so much for the super chat. Let me see. Thank you so much, Lillian Lopez, for the $5 super chat. Auntie looking fly. Yes. Thank you, boo. Had to do what I had to do. I had to throw a hat on today, okay? Y'all ain't tell me that I ain't do this damn review, so I got to do the damn review, okay? Thank you, Lillian. So Michael is basically, just a piece of trash. And so Sarah, of course, embraces him and they hug one another and they kumbaya with one another. The next time we see the two of them, they're now at, Michael's at the hotel and she's bringing the two girls by. Now, I don't know if this was another day or not, but I'm thinking, wasn't he just on the porch of the Airbnb? But anyway, this bitch, is sitting there and she comes in with the kids. He gets the little baby, the littlest baby, and she get to screaming. So Sarah gives her some keys, put some keys in her hand, like how you dangle something in front of a little puppy or mouse or something. So she gives the little girl her dirty, filthy keys, and then I see she gives her, her little binky, and all is right with the world. And the thing I don't like about Michael, here's the thing I don't like about Michael, is that he's training his girls to respond to pretty girl instead of responding to their name. Hey, pretty girl. No. They got names. And they should be called names by their daddy. So every time some mofo on the street call them pretty girls, that's going to be a trigger in them. And they're going to be running, laughing behind that pretty girl. Call them by their names. I mean, y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all think about that, because I'm like, they not pretty girls. Chop, chop, bitch. Why are you doing that? We don't understand. You know what, Auntie? So anyway, the pretty girls come into the room and he and Sarah are talking. And so Sarah asks him how long does he plan on being there. And he says that he plans on being there for another 2 weeks. And she said, you know what? Why don't you come and stay with me? We knew that was coming, right? And so, she's like, you don't know me. I don't know you. People have changed. People change. Not y'all. Not the two of y'all, but people have changed. And so she, Michael's like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead on and take you up on this offer so that production doesn't have to pay for me to continue to stay in this hotel. So they get to talking and everything, and Sarah talks about, her role and how, she's always made herself available to him. And so Michael's like, but I've been in these girls' lives the whole time. I've been there for them. And so, of course, this triggers Sarah. And frankly, it would have triggered me too. Michael indicated that even while he was yet in jail, okay, serving 15, 25 years, that he was there for his daughters. Michael believes that, you can parent a child from prison, especially when you don't have anything and you're messing with a whole bunch of women to put money on your canteen. See, prior to this, Michael, didn't nobody really know Michael but Megan. Okay? When he got out and he got on the television screen, then all kinds of mofos were interested in him, because that's how some dumb are. They go up in the DMs of somebody that they see on television and they think them to be famous or think them to be attractive or whatever. And, you got to think, what kind of mental illness does these suffer from, that they will reach out to an ex-felon because he was on a television show and think that they're going to have a relationship with him. Okay, now some of this, is acting, or it is, produced, right? But a lot of this mofo's character and where he been all his life, that ain't acting, bitch. He was in jail. So while you sliding up in his DMs and trying to meet him, and then you brokenhearted, and then you coming to Auntie and telling Auntie about what's going on, and I'm supposed to give a damn. I'm supposed to be sympathetic and empathetic to you, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, what the fuck? Like, it ain't but so much counseling, advice, and encouragement that you could give a mofo who purposely put themselves in harm's way. I'm talking to somebody, okay? I'm talking to somebody, okay? If the shoe fits Cinderella, put that bitch on and go on with your frog. Because let's trust and believe he's not a prince. He never will be a prince. So when y'all go up in them DMs and slide up in there and you think that this mofo is gonna make you levitate, bitch, he better make you levitate. You know what? Okay, Auntie. So anyway, Michael says to Sarah that he, has been in the kids' lives and that he's been taking care of the kids. And she says, how are you going to take the credit from me? And so the next thing you know, they get into an argument because Sarah feels like he needs to kiss her ass and he needs to give her credit for what she has done. But Michael's not the type of man that's ever going to give you credit, Ma. What do you call her, Ma? He never going to give you credit for that because his inability to sympathize and empathize and take responsibility for his own is he will never take. Girl, bye. Anyway, so Michael and Sarah get into an argument. Sarah decides that she's going to leave out of the room with the oldest daughter and leave him with the baby. Make that make sense. She's going to test him, try him, to see whether or not he can take care of the baby. But the baby didn't even want his ass. You had to get the baby some car keys and a pacifier in order for the baby to calm down being in his arms. So goddamn irresponsible, Young. You're trying to make a point. Point wasn't made. You can't make a point with him. Why do you think that you can reason with a person like Mike? I mean, is it me? Am I okay? Am I okay? The last couple that I want to talk about is a Puppy and Amber. Amber is home. This is her first full day being home. Her mother has already told her that she has kidney disease and that she's doing dialysis. She told Puppy that she wants Puppy to really get herself together. But in order for Puppy and Amber to live up underneath her house, they can't handle hanky-panky. Now, they get up in the morning and Amber is eating off of a plate. And they're cooking in the kitchen. She says that she has to give her and go to work. Amber already has a master plan, right? So Puppy is sitting there with her mother and talking about how, basically she wants to knock boots or booties, okay, with Amber. But she doesn't think that Amber is feeling the same kind of way. The mother tells her, I don't want you to get hurt behind this. And she says, well, I want to have a relationship with Amber. I'm not sure that that's what she wants, and I am not going to allow myself to get hurt. And the mother told her, you know what, sometimes you say that, but you really can't control that. Like, you have no control over that. Amber, in the meantime, is outside saying she needs to pump her brakes. She just got home. Things are one way when we're in prison, and things are another way when we're out. So Amber is having a conversation with the producers, and her mofo phone rings. Yup, her phone rings. So she excuses herself and picks up the phone. This is a phone call from Gilmore County Jail Correctional Center. Will you accept this collect phone call? Amber said, hell yeah. She waits to be connected. This call will be recorded. She waits to be connected. Hey, baby. Hey, beautiful. Hey. First time we ever seen Amber look like a woman. First time we ever seen Amber blush. First time we ever saw Amber ever have any real emotions or feelings. Amber got a man, bitch. Amber appears to have used Puppy I don't know if she used Puppy and her own mother for sanctity to make sure she didn't get her ass whooped in jail. But you know what? She says, I loved you while I was there. You know what I'm saying? I started at the bottom, at the bottom, but now I'm here. Okay, so Amber has a friend. She tells him that she can't wait for him to get out of jail and that everything is going to be fine. So when Amber was talking about things being different on the outside and being one way on the inside, bitch, she was talking about a man. Now, Amber wasn't attracted to Vince at all because Vince was a goofball. He was very unattractive. And, there was some things about Vince that we just did not like. But I'm going to tell you right now, honey, she is laying up in Puppy's mama house, okay, which is a place where she was able to lay her head and get her stuff together. And it seems like Amber's on the background stacking chips, bitch. Probably when this mofo comes out, Amber will have enough money to have purchased her own apartment building, okay? Put a down payment on that bitch. She already has a car. I think that Amber used Puppy, in my opinion. What do y'all think? Puppy is out and she is dog sick over her. She ready to lick her up and down. Let me lick you up and down, okay? And Amber's not having it. Amber keeps pushing her off, saying, this was your first day. They even laughed and giggled about not having, any blanket during the night. But come to find out that, this ain't even a real relationship between the two of them. Amber's mother has told her that she's concerned that, she's putting some ground rules down, that not only are they not to, be intimate with one another, but that she's not to be hanging out because she doesn't trust her hanging out. She feels like if she hangs out, then then Puppy's going to get in trouble again. And, Puppy's not feeling this. She even said that, when she woke up, that she did not even imagine that this is how her life would be, how she would feel being out of prison. And I think the reason why she's feeling that way is because she's not feeling that connection between her and Amber. And you're probably not going to feel it as long as Amber is accepting phone calls from the correctional facility. Y'all, let me tell you, like I said, this episode, if I had to rate it, I absolutely would rate it a D. I'm hoping that these storylines pick back up and that we're able to see something that's going to excite us. Like, right? I'm sure hoping so. Thank you so much for being here. If you have not already done so, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that every time I go live, you go live too. I appreciate you all for being here. Love you so much. Bye, y'all.